So Lucas, who's your favourite giant buff woman?
Is it Xena the warrior princess?
Fucking too right, it's Xena. She-Hulk is a comic book character capable of some extraordinary feats of physical prowess. While not as physically strong as her better-known cousin, she does possess one ability he does not. The ability to get more buff while in her human form.
So how, buff and strong can she get, Karl?
We don't actually know how strong She-Hulk is on paper because she hails from a comic book, and comic books tend to be somewhat inconsistent, shall we say, in how they portray the power sets of individual characters. One thing is that she's not as strong as the Hulk, because the Hulk is the strongest there is, to use one of his own quotes. But she is one of the physically most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe, and she has bested some incredibly strong opponents in one-on-one combat, including Hercules, the Greek god of strength, who she once threw an arm wrestling contest with to spare his feelings before taking him out on a date and fucking his brains out.
That's one way to take out Hercules.
And you know what my favourite thing about that is? They found Hercules the next day in a parking lot naked, and he's just there completely naked, and there's someone coming oh, were you out with She-Hulk last night? And yeah. Do you think she'll call? She never calls. It's so brutal. God. Just fucked him and left him. Just loved him and left him. Just Hercules okay then, I guess that's over.
I thought she left him in naked in a car park.
And then he's just there do you think she'll call me? She never calls, mate.
Oh no.
Oh, I just love that shit, because my favourite thing about She-Hulk is that she is literally the character single female lawyer from Futurama.
Yeah.
Because, She-Hulk is actually a lawyer in her day-to-day life, and she goes to court as She-Hulk, because she's more in control of her Hulk form than the Hulk is, where she basically retains all of her intelligence. She's just 1.5 feet taller and green. The thing I like about She-Hulk, though, is that in several comics, they ask her, so it must be pretty, difficult to get around being an 8 foot tall green woman. It's yeah, it is, but I like being She-Hulk. It makes me feel more confident.
Fair play.
It makes me feel more confident. It makes me feel sexy. I like being She-Hulk. And that's why she's just rocking up to court in high heels as She-Hulk.
The thing is as well, I imagine getting around New York as a 6 foot person's probably a bit of a pain in the ass, let alone an 8 foot giant hulking woman.
But then again, she can just leap over a building if it's in a way. Oh no, my car's stuck in traffic, better just lift it up. Do you know that scene in, Shaolin Soccer? With the ladies trying to park a car, it's but she could park her car with Kung Fu, and she just palm strikes the car into the thing.
The perfect parallel park.
So I bet She-Hulk's just doing that shit. But there's so many great moments in the comics with She-Hulk. I think there's one comic Doctor Doom's son, maybe. So she's in court with that, and Doctor Doom flies in and goes, "No, he's my son," and flies out, and she's, "No, that's my witness. What are you doing?" There's so many great moments where she's just in court and just shit gets real. And I was so mad that they never had a She-Hulk cameo in the Daredevil show.
Oh god, yeah.
Who's cross-examining? Oh, it's Jennifer Waters.
Well, they actually have moments where they have court battles against each other, don't they?
I was hoping that we'd get just the little cameo, maybe on a piece of paper somewhere. It's who is the person in charge of this case? It's terrible. It's Jennifer. It's her.
I think I'd rather have just, in the middle of Matt Murdock's case, She-Hulk bursts through the wall.
Just walks in full She-Hulk outfit. My favourite thing is in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, in which She-Hulk's in it, if you make her fight Phoenix Wright, Phoenix Wright says, "Miss Waters, your defence." As she picks a car and throws the car, "I'll fuck you up."
That's her defence.
Her defence is, I can lift a car above my head. What?
Hit you with a fucking street lamp. So you said she's not the strongest. She's not as strong as Hulk, for example.
Yeah, and she has been bested physically on several occasions, most pertinent to today's video, on one time by a guy called Champion of the Universe.
Well, he sounds pretty fucking strong.
Yeah, being beaten by a guy called Champion of the Universe, you can kind of see why he got that title.
Yeah, maybe.
We've discussed him briefly before, where he had a fight with The Thing.
Okay,
and
yeah.
He beat the shit out of The Thing, another extraordinarily strong character. Mm-hmm. And loads of people didn't get that video, because the point is that even though he physically bests Thing, he gives up because he realised, I can break every bone in his body and he'll never give up.
Oh.
So I can beat him physically, but I can't break his spirit.
Okay.
But too many people watching that video leave angry comments going, "We got beaten up by the Hulk." Yeah, you can beat him up, but you can't beat him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that level of nuance is one step beyond what you can comprehend, you fucking moron. Like, how binary is your view of the world where it's like, yeah, but Hulk can beat him.
Yeah, but Hulk can beat everyone
Yeah,
technically.
but we're talking about this, like, on a philosophical
Yeah,
level.
exactly.
It's like, no, but his number's bigger. It's like, oh my God, you're
It's
so
like,
boring.
but he's also, like, indefeatable in a different way than strength.
Yeah, it's like the Rock Lee thing. Like, Rock Lee is not as strong as everyone in Naruto, but he doesn't give up.
Yeah.
And that means he's better. He's not as strong, but I'd say he's just as strong.
He's
for
the
other
truest
reasons.
of heroes, Karl.
And I fucking love Rock Lee, man. He's so good.
Take off those weighted wings.
Oh, man, it's the best moment. We talk about it too much, but what we need to talk about, though, Mike Guy. Like, when Mike Guy just opens up all 8 gates and just does, he does a drop kick that's so hard a dragon appears. It's like, yeah!
I want to see that. The dragon punch versus the dragon drop
No,
kick.
I just love that moment in Naruto where it's like Mike Guy goes, I guess I better open all 8 gates, and starts firing tigers from his fists. It's like, he just does martial arts.
But how did She-Hulk get beaten by like the champion of the universe?
Well, he just bests her physically in a fair test of their strength. I think he's in a boxing ring, in fact. And,
Okay.
Like, She-Hulk's obviously a bit annoyed about this, but this is where her abilities as a lawyer come in, because what she did is she read over the specific terms of the bout she had with Champion of the Universes and realizes with her legal mind that there is a loophole. And that loophole is she is entitled, if she so wishes, to challenge Champion of the Universe to a rematch in 3 months.
Okay.
So she uses this loophole to challenge to a rematch. And Champion's like, well, I beat you once.
Yeah.
I'll beat you again. So he obviously accepts the challenge. And this is where we need to draw a distinction between how She-Hulk's powers work and how Hulk's powers work. Because
Okay.
you, Lucas, familiar with the Hulk?
Yeah.
How does Hulk get stronger?
Well, Hulk transforms into a separate entity known as, Bruce Banner
Yes.
transforms into a separate entity known as the Hulk.
And when he's the Hulk, how does the Hulk increase his strength?
With, anger and rage.
Yeah, it is directly proportional to his level of excitement and or anger, and it can be somewhat amplified by other stupid comic means magical dark energy, radiation. Yeah. But the short version is the angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. Mm-hmm. She-Hulk has that to a very limited degree, and while her strength can be increased by her emotional state, because She-Hulk is calm when she becomes She-Hulk, it's not as extreme.
Because she has a better control of her emotions.
Yeah, whereas the Hulk doesn't, so he gets stronger. Anyway, so what happens is She-Hulk decides, well, I can't beat him as She-Hulk. So what I'll do is I'll just increase my confidence and my fighting skills as myself, and trains in her regular human body for those 3 months.
Okay.
And when the rematch happens, obviously she hulks out, fights Champion, and then immediately punches his dick off. She beats him handily without any effort whatsoever, and realizes, wait a minute, my Hulk form is exponentially stronger than my strength in my human form. So all the strength I gained as a human gets exponentially added to my She-Hulk strength.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. So she accidentally discovers, oh no, I'm now 50 times more powerful than I was as fucking She-Hulk.
Oh my God.
Right? And there's an idea of how ridiculous this power boost, this Zenkai boost is for She-Hulk. They have to build her a special suit so she won't flex and blow the world up.
Oh my God.
Because she can't control how much stronger she is. So they have to build her a special suit to stop her from just blowing things up because she's too strong.
Oh my God,
she
she
can't handle
Super
it.
Saiyan God.
Isn't that really cool?
That's so fucking cool.
And she discovers it entirely by accident. And it's a thing they do in the comics where She-Hulk, she trains as the human, then transforms, and goes, okay, now I'm a million times stronger. This is super awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's also really scary. The first time she hulks out, it blows up the world. So on many occasions on this channel, we have discussed power-up moments from fiction, because I fucking love that shit. I've never discussed it with you, Lucas. So I'll ask She-Hulk just exponentially increasing her strength via bullshit means that the comics never told you about before. Do you have a favourite power-up moment from fiction that you'd like to talk about now?
I mean, the one that immediately comes to mind is the one that probably does for many people, and it's the original Super Saiyan moment.
Yes.
Because that shit is so hype. And just the fact that, Goku, gets angry, Krillin, his best friend, gets just exploded.
That scream is blood-curdling from Krillin. It's so terrifying.
But the fact that Goku, for the first time, gets really fucking angry. You never see him go, merciless mode before.
He never actually just gets pissed off. He fights for fun.
And then just, his eyes just white out. The lightning, comes from the sky.
lightning is letting you know nature's getting hype.
Oh god,
Nature's starting to get hype for the battle that's about to take place.
Holy shit, we've never seen this happen before. Like, I think that moment when I watched it as a kid was the moment where I realised, like, oh my god, Dragon Ball is like gonna be my thing.
Like, Dragon Ball is the hypest fucking shit. Like, mine are always Dragon Ball.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. And like the one most recently is the Broly one.
Oh god,
where Broly just loses control. And I think we discussed briefly one of the little details that I really like is that because Broly doesn't know what he's doing, that's why he fires Ki Blast out of like every part of his body.
Because
he doesn't know what Ki is.
Yeah, exactly. Goku and Vegeta have been like trained in martial arts and using their Ki.
As an
Broly just explodes.
And just that moment where Broly doesn't know what's happening and just screams so loud, he fires Ki Blast in every conceivable direction at once. It's just, yeah, why the fuck not?
It's so cool. Oh, but I do love, like, you know, the next arc when we get to the Android saga and we find, like, Super Saiyan Vegeta and he's the cockiest shit.
Of course he is, yeah.
Oh my god, I love that moment where he fights, like, Android 19, is it?
Yeah, rips his arms off.
And just that, watching him have fun with this thing. It's like,
finally.
do you have, like, can you feel fear? And just watches him armless scramble up a pit. Like, no, run.
And then Android 18 kicks his arm off and completely negates that power-up moment forever.
It lasted one episode.
It's so bad, but I mean, then we go back to the other anime, Naruto.
Oh,
so yeah. I'd say every time, and it's always the fucking, just the Rock Lee moment. But there's another one that I found out about when he gets drunk. Right, he gets drunk and discovers that, when I'm drunk, I fight better. Because my mind is no longer concentrating on martial arts, I'm acting on pure instinct.
Oh my god,
so it's basically Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct Rock League. Yeah, let's go.
He just fights completely without thinking. It's like pure, and it's like, yeah, that's the one.
Oh my god,
I
didn't know that. That's amazing.
Or like the Mike Guy moment we mentioned earlier, it's like, fuck it, all 8 gates. It's just, I just like it. I know it doesn't happen the way it should, but when our friend Charlie just described it as when Mike Guy just said, fuck it, I'm opening all 8 at once. Just the idea that it's like, okay, end of the world, boom, done.
Yep.
Just activate the most ultimate power possible. Just pop the bottle, do it. Yeah. X Factor, second one.
See, one thing I love.
Frame one X Factor into a bionic arm.
It's so good. And just like, this is why I love anime, because it just keeps going. Like, I was about to mention, we've got One Piece, but every single person has a different power up. So every single every single person also gets a different power up. So every single time you see, like, there's
get that moment.
The new moment, everyone else has to catch up. And everybody's got new bullshit to fuck around with.
That's the best.
It's so cool.
And to bring it back to Marvel, as maligned as that very first, like, Ang Lee Hulk movie was, there is the moment right at the end where the big bad is trying to siphon away Hulk's strength.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, no, give me as much power as you want. And he's intentionally beating the shit out of Hulk to siphon away his power. And you just get that moment where he says, oh, do you want it? Take it all. And he just like says, okay, here's all the rage the Hulk feels at this moment. And just a lake boils around him because he's so angry. It's like, holy fuck. And we never got a moment like that in the MCU. Like, we never get a moment where the Hulk actually gets to get properly angry.
No, we don't.
Except for like the Scarlet Witch moment, but he never does anything crazy. And I was hoping we'd get that moment. So I think we talked briefly about what did you want from Endgame? And before they introduced Professor Hulk, I was hoping we'd get the moment. I said, what's going to happen is Black Widow's going to die. So I called that. And my idea was that we'd get Mark Ruffalo's face zoomed in saying, like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get Thanos. I'm going to get Thanos for Black Widow. And then he'd slightly transform into the Hulk and you just hear the phrase, Hulk help. And we get the moment of them working together, and instead he just turns into a guy in a t-shirt, and then his arm gets ripped off, and then he does nothing the entire film, and it's really unhype.
I think
we never got the take it all moment.
That's the thing, in the context of that movie, it makes perfect sense because it's the ending to like Captain America and Tony Stark's story. They are the focus, but Hulk needed more shit.
We never got the moment where Hulk he's like angry.
No,
so he's never angry in any of those films.
Not really.
He's a little bit pissed off, but he's always in control. And I just thought that, and that's like I said, the one good thing about the Ang Lee movie is where he does that.
It's fine, just send him to space and let him rip people apart.
He just boils an entire lake by screaming.